Put that shit on. It's the Godfather speaking. Listen.
What is up, YouTube world? It's Jay Coffee Talk back, and we got some NFL news, guys. Get in the comments, few topics here, and jumping right into it. AB Antonio Brown, who has just been embroiled in so much controversy and drama, blockery, all kinds of ish over the last few years, man. Like, I tell you, as a Bills fan, if you guys recall back, before he was dealt to the Raiders, on his way out of Pittsburgh, which, if you ask me, the whole Pittsburgh ish that ultimately led to him being traded just came down to him being jealous of Juju, I think. I don't know. Like, you guys can comment and let me know what you guys think. But, everyone knows the way it went down. Originally, the news broke. He was being traded to the Bills. And then next thing you know, before Bills fans, the mafia really even got a chance to react to the news, we were hearing it was false. AB had shot the deal down. He didn't want to come to Buffalo. He ended up going over to the Raiders. Bunch of immature fluckery over there. He's got to wear a particular helmet. Then he gets his way. Then he's not showing up. Then next thing you know, everything seems to be fixed, right? But then he leaks out a private phone call between him and Gruden for his YouTube channel, and ultimately ends up getting released. And he makes it all into this video with the phone call edited into it, and he's running around flapping his arms like he's a bird, because they're like, yo, I'm free, they cut me. Like, it was just all so bizarre and just so childish, you know what I mean? Like, you didn't want to go to Buffalo, you go to the Raiders, you just sabotage everything there, leak out a private phone call between you and the coach, which we didn't know some of the things we know about Gruden now. Back then, that's a whole nother story. But we know that, he ended up going over to the Patriots with Tom Brady, played like one game, and then the allegations came out, which I believe he was innocent in that situation, and his name was cleared. It ultimately kind of looked like a shakedown to me. But even after that, there was all kinds of drama. You know what I'm saying? He got arrested for like beating up a delivery guy or something like that, driving a truck. I think he was dropping off electronics and some other issue. It was just like one thing after another with this guy. But ultimately, as a Bills fan, as I stated at the beginning of this rundown that I'm on now, this tangent, we're ultimately better off that we didn't have all that diva behavior in our locker room. You know what I'm saying? We got a great team spirit, morale. Everyone flux with each other, respects each other, and we ain't got time for a guy like AB. But anyways, even after all that, Brady gets him in with the Buccaneers. They get a Super Bowl ring. He, has a hell of a season. And everything seems like it's a happy ending, right? Wrong. We know all the ish that went down last year where he ran off the field. And, all that about the injury and everything. To me, that was BS. You know what I mean? That was all AB just trying to justify his antics, when in reality, he's trying to transition on to the next stage in his life as a rapper / internet star / president of Donda Sports with Kanye West. All this stuff he's doing now, you know what I mean? Just performed at Rolling Loud. I actually just reported on all that in another video yesterday. But through all that, in my opinion, it shows and has continued to show that Antonio Brown is selfish, childish, doesn't care about anyone but himself, possibly maybe a bit delusional. And when I say that, I'm not like trying to be dissing him like that, because I think, in a sense, I kind of am dissing him, right, because of the selfishness and everything like that. But some of the stuff he does maybe has something to do with CTE. We all know that horrible hit he took and everything. But I kind of have a philosophy, I guess I would call it, where I say, like, some people may have mental illness or different things of that nature. I've shared on the channel before. I'm very familiar with that stuff, but it doesn't mean you got to be a prick. You know what I'm saying? And Antonio Brown has constantly shown he's a dickhead. You know what I mean? But after his departure from the Buccaneers, you know, he went on that whole thing about the ankle. They were trying to force him to play hurt. He said he had receipts coming. And the only thing he ever released was some texts, which for all we know could be fake. There wasn't any like MRIs or scans or whatever to back that up, which I think originally he was hinting at that he had that. And he didn't have ish, you know what I mean? And he ended up going on a podcast dissing Tom Brady, dissing Alex Guerrero, who is Brady's trainer that he's worked with for a long time. At one point, I forget what his whole beef with him was, that he wanted his money back, and as he was working with Guerrero too, like it was a whole thing, you know. But through all this, a lot of people have constantly said, yo, why are you dissing Tom Brady? Tom was the only guy there for you, you know, like he helped you get another shot with the Buccaneers when no one was fucking with you. You were casteth away from the NFL. No one wanted to touch you with a 100-foot pole. You should be thanking Tom Brady. And to keep it a buck with you guys, I share all the time that as a Buffalo Bills fan, right, Tom Brady is like Satan to me. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's not with New England anymore, he's just a bitter rival of ours. Same thing with Belichick and just the Patriots organization. That's what it is. But being honest, even with that being said, in this situation, I look at this like from, you know, my standpoint as a fan, from the way it seems, I honestly think people are right when they say that. Like, you shouldn't be dissing Tom. You should be thanking Tom. Even with me looking at Tom like he's the devil. You know, like AB's claims have never really held any water to me. Like the things that he says about Tom Brady, it just doesn't really make any sense. I don't really know what he's mad at him about. He just, like I said, this guy's just an abrasive douchebag, more or less, you know, in my opinion. But him going at Tom Brady continues as he threw up these two tweets here. You know, for those who may not remember, that whole situation just went down a couple weeks ago with the Miami Dolphins, you know, where they got in trouble for illegally tampering, trying to get Brady to come to the Dolphins organization while he was still under contract. Like, you know, it's a whole thing with the rules as far as negotiations, when you can do it, you know, with players being under contract and everything like that. Also, they, you know, with Sean Payton as well, they were trying to get him to coach, Brady to play. They were ready to give Brady an executive position, or I think even like ownership in the team. It was all crazy. You know, this all came out through the whole lawsuit between Brian Flores and, you know, the Dolphins organization and everything. It is crazy. You know, a lot of ish going on. But through all that, you know, Tom Brady was, like, the Dolphins organization was fined, docked draft picks, like they got hit hard, right? But Tom Brady seemingly was involved as well. You know, everyone may remember there were those really bizarre reports back, I can't remember if it was at the beginning of last season or at the end of last season, or when exactly it was, but there was like some reports that had been confirmed that Brady was in talks with the Dolphins and possibly had bought a house in Miami. But, you know, a lot of people were like, well, yo, he's already in Tampa. Like, that's not that crazy for him to look at a house in Miami. But nonetheless, it seems like if the Dolphins did indeed, you know, tamper and speak with Brady, like Brady spoke with them, is what it seems like. And through all this, I guess Brady's taken a little mini sabbatical for a couple weeks for personal reasons, and Antonio Brown sounded off on this situation here, taking shots once again at Brady and Alex Guerrero. And you guys, I think he did these tweets like with talk to text, because some of it, when I read it to you, you're gonna be like, that don't really make sense. But if he did do it with Talk to Text, you can see where the errors came from. First, he said, Tom Brady manipulate the game, gets 14 days, go home, get his mind right. LOL. Now you see the difference. Put that ish on. So you see he's, and I do agree, even with AB, I don't really understand his gripe with Tom Brady. I feel Tom did look out for him. I do believe he's right in this situation where we've seen a lot of funny style stuff from Brady over the years, and the NFL kind of seems to be like, that's our guy right there. For the most part, there has been some times they have kind of came down on him. But what do you guys think about what he's saying here? And then in this other tweet, he says, Alex Guerrero, which he meant to say Guerrero. So that's Talk to Text error I was speaking about. He says, you think I won't have you smacked? And then it says at TB12. I think he was meaning to say at TB12, tag Tom Brady, but it came up wrong. Boy, stop playing with me. Boy, getting paid by bucks. I think he meant to say big bucks, and taking players' money too. So he's talking greasy, man. There's a lot of people reacting, saying, come on, AB. He was the only guy there for you to get you back in the league. He let you stay at his house, which in an interview on a podcast before, when he was coming at Tom, someone mentioned that about him staying at the house. And he's like, yo, you think I didn't have my own money? You think I couldn't have got my own crib? Which, I mean, is probably true. But nonetheless, it's still a very, good gesture, even though, again, that I don't pluck with Tom Brady like that, to take someone under your roof. For real. But what do you guys think about this, man? Either way, it's a win-win situation for AB, as his name's trending in the news heavily right now. Like I said, he's trying to do big things at Donda Sports and with his rap career, which, again, I don't fuck with his music at all. I think it's straight buns. But jump in the comments, guys. Let me know what you think about all this, the beef between him, and Tom, and all the issues he's been through in the league. What do you guys think about all this with Antonio Brown, with Brady, with these tampering allegations? Let's discuss it all in the comments. And in some other NFL news, real quick as well, Drew Lock, who is seemingly going to be the starter in Seattle, is going to miss tomorrow's preseason game against the Chicago Bears because he has came down with that sickness, you guys. So Geno Smith is going to start. This is just where it gets crazy, though, when it comes to, after this, we saw last year, who is in contact with this guy? Can other guys not play? And, what's the time period they got to be away from the team? You know what I'm saying? But just an update there with that. Drew Lock caught the sickness. Regular season's some ways away, so I don't think it'll affect the team like that.
Day one of joint practices between the Patriots and the Carolina Panthers. And Mike, let's get right to it. It was a lot of fun to watch. It was a very competitive day out here on the football field.
Oh, very chippy. We saw guys get ejected. I think 5 guys altogether, 3 Patriot players. But you kind of expect that, right? You expect that. Guys finally excited to hit someone other than themselves. And not necessarily a preseason game, so why not try to take it to that next level?
Yeah, and I thought at some point, I thought both sides of the ball for the Patriots took it to that next level. I thought maybe the end of the game, the session said it all when Sean Wade was thrown for a flag, a penalty, and the whole defense all over. First time we had officials, referee here, and everything else, all over him and everything else. Just kind of say, "Come on, I wasn't." You could see.
And to close this out, one more thing I want to go over with you guys real quick here. Carolina and New England. Speaking of Brady, we're talking about his former team. Again, me as a Bills fan, my heated rivals, the Patriots, who last year, I was actually just talking about this on Twitter with someone, the AFC East, our rivals, the Jets, Dolphins, and Patriots. Everyone used to bust our balls when we struggled through the drought. Now we're on top. People want to hate on us. And, they're just all delusional. They really think they're going to make a run at the division this year. Last year with the Patriots, it was they really got turned up when they won their first divisional matchup against us. But we seemingly went on to smash them back-to-back in the rematch and in the playoffs, just annihilated them. And they got all excited when they won that game. Oh, it's over. You know, for like 1 week, they were ahead of us in the standings, or 2 weeks. And they were like, oh, what a run the Bills had. 1 season as the AFC. Shut your mouth. We destroyed you guys. But anyways, they've been practicing joint practices with the Carolina Panthers all week, because I believe they're going to have a preseason game against them. And yesterday, as you guys see the different clips playing, or I might play them at the end after my commentary, there was just 2 brawls, yesterday and today, or maybe 2 big brawls, but a lot of just different instances going on, where players were getting chippy. I guess Christian McCaffrey got slammed into the ground. He spiked a ball at a defender on another play, and they started brawling a couple different times that got caught on video that I'll share with you guys. So that's all I got on this one. Let me know what you guys think about all these topics. Stay tuned for more NFL content. Let me end this thing. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned. It's J Coffee Talk. We got daily videos. We're talking music, news, sports, and more. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.